You're good.
All right, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the August Community Programs Committee meeting. Lori, can you call the roll?
Jessica Brennan, Maureen Zabin, Mr. Moskowitz, Lena Finnan, Beth Greenwood, Harley Martin, and Seth Goldstein.
Here, that's all right. Thank you.
Good. Yeah. And we actually have 2 months of meeting minutes to approve. First, I'll take a motion to approve the June 1st meetings. Is there a second?
Lori.
Any changes or corrections? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those are approved. And now I'll take a motion for the July 6th meetings. Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Those are also approved. And we're moving to public comment. Do you have anything, Lorraine? Public
I
comment?
can't hear very well, so I speak a little louder.
That's okay. You can, public comment.
Thank you. I'm looking into the senior, you're on the next two. I don't have any comments about Lori, never did. She's pretty good.
All right, so we'll move into community programs items.
Summer playground update. Tomorrow is our last day of our 5-week program.
Tough summer.
And it's been a great summer. No rainouts. Good summer for the playground program. No weather delays or cancellations, and we beat our registration numbers from 2022. So that's always a bonus. And a special thanks to all the supervisors and staff for making this another successful season. Driving range update. The driving range has had a very tough season due to all the rain, a lot of puddling, and but we're finally back open, and we're hoping to keep it open until the end of October, which once from after Labor Day to October goes to weekends only. August movie night, another issue we've had so far due to the rain. Our movie that was scheduled for this Friday, which is tomorrow, is going to be postponed until Sunday. We've switched some movies around, so the new schedule is this Sunday, the 6th, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Next Friday, the 11th, The Parent Trap, and that's sponsored by Carolyn Luke from Coldwell Banker. She will be here with an ice cream truck. And Friday, the 25th, Field of Dreams. So we have to hope for good weather for all of this.
What was the 25th was the last one?
Yes,
If it doesn't rain, it will come.
that's right. Right out of the woods. And then depending on the weather in September, we'd like to do a couple more, but we'll see. Summer concert series. Tonight, our concert was canceled due to the rain. And next week is the last concert of the season. That is the Mr. E Band.
We've actually, tonight's concert rescheduled for the 17th.
Oh, sweet. Okay, great. I got that. Farmers market update. Beth, is there anything out of the ordinary just besides Bill and wonderfully great weather?
It has, we've been really fortunate. We just want to keep reminding everybody that they take both Farmers Market Nutrition Program and SNAP EBT. So folks can use that at the market. List.
Wonderful. And then our fall fun run is scheduled for Saturday, October 14th. Festivities begin at 5 p.m. with a 100-yard dash, 5:15 with the 5K run, and then 6 o'clock with the 1 mile. And information on the live register is on our webpage. And also fall soccer, early registration has closed. Late registration is still open with limited spots, and numbers are as expected as this time of year. And lastly, I want to say how sorry we are that Carly, our wonderful intern, full time as of the end of next or the 25th, but she'll still be here to help with soccer. And she's been a godsend for this summer. So we are very lucky to have you. Thank you. Can miss you. And I have no resolutions.
I may have one.
Oh, okay.
We can talk more about it later, but a tentative resolution to possibly accept a donation for the AED program.
Excellent.
Okay,
And that's all I have.
okay, we'll move on to the senior center. Why not?
We're off to a busy start for August. All of our exercise classes are fully attended. Tuesdays are really busy days for us because we start out at 10 o'clock with Tai Chi and then we go right into total body combo, which has become really popular. And then we have water aerobics. The water aerobics has been Tuesdays and Thursdays this summer. They're both very well attended. So that's been great. And then at 1 o'clock, we finish up with chair moves. So that's a typical Tuesday for us. On Thursdays, it's more the Tai Chi in the morning, and then there's a 1 o'clock on some days. And where we don't have a 1 o'clock exercise, we fill in with either art or entertainment. So we had entertainment today. We had a fellow, Tony Sciattino, who's very good. He was really great. He came in for an hour and he was lovely. So we'd love to have him back. And he seemed to really like to work with us too. So that was nice. We have, so Fridays, as you know, the first Friday of every month, we host the Alzheimer's Association and we post that information. And it's actually, right now we have an average of like 6 people that attend. So it's become very helpful and useful. On Mondays, our Qigong teacher is back. She's going to be back for September. So that a lot of people are looking forward to that. And then we have pickleball folks that come in. We have our chair Pilates, which is our staple exercise at 12:30 that day. And then at night, Edie comes in and she'll do a combination of like Mahjong open art. And that's been about an average of 10 people every month. So that's been good. Let's see. So we have our next trip for this month is going to be Lion King over at Proctor's. That's going to be on Thursday, the 10th. Water aerobics will officially finish up on Thursday, the 17th at the town pool. We will have our SAS class that day as well. We have a woman who's come in and she does English country dancing. And she's been filling in those gaps when we don't, for people who take hiatus or summer vacations or whatever and exercise. And she has a little following. People really like it. Yeah, so that's been nice. Big thing coming up is Schenectady County Barbecue. They want to have the Niskuna Pavilion be the host site. So we've been working with Doreen and they're sending all kinds of supplies and goodies. We are going to be there on site to help with that. They're running the show, but we'll fill in and kind of steer the ship as we have to. And I believe that's like 11. I think it's like 11 to 11, something along those lines. So I can. It is all already got that. Okay, great. There's a rain date of the 30th.
So somebody needs to get that. Or the one day, whatever.
Yeah, we weren't sure how that worked.
So, yeah, I can bring it up. Yeah, if you're there on Tuesday or whatever, you can have it.
Okay, so Lori has the picture. She's going to talk to Ray about the bocce and the horseshoes. The bathrooms, we did want to make sure that they were clean and ready to go. So the key, you'll help us with the key? Okay, great. And then Doreen, I'll email her and make sure that she gets her rider for the insurance for that particular day. Perfect. No surprises, right?
Linda, what was the date for that again?
That is going to be a Wednesday, the 23rd. So it's right in between the program days.
And the 30th is the rain date.
30th is the rain day, yes, sir. So we also have the art out, which is coming up. That is, in fact, it's coming up quickly because it's August 11th and 12th. It's 11 to 3 each day. We have 11 artists that are already signed up. It is clearly weather dependent. But right now, the artists choose the park to sit and do their work. The pavilion will be reserved for artists at River Road Park only. And at the end, we'll do the same thing that we did last year because it seemed really popular with everybody. And we posted the artwork at the center and here, and we asked for people to vote. And that's how we came up with that. So that worked out really well. So seemed to be well received. We have gentle yoga returning in September also on Wednesdays at 6:30 at night. And the October trip on deck is to Mrs. Doubtfire at Proctor's. Yeah.
But
Yeah, so that's a little bit of what we have going on. So, yeah, any questions? No.
so I just have one thing. I got an email from Casey Carroll, who's one of the guidance counselors over at one of the middle schools, Iroquois, okay. And apparently Iroquois is having its community day on October 13th in the morning. And they wanted to have 8th graders do volunteer work in the community. And so she reached out to us to see if there would be any opportunity for 8th graders to do supervised volunteering in the Parks Department.
Beth and I literally had this conversation this morning, asking why no one has volunteered to do anything.
Yeah,
That's hysterical, isn't it?
Yeah, I got this yesterday.
Oh, that's awesome.
So they're still in the planning stages, but she wanted to reach out. It sounds like there'd be a bunch of students available from around 9:45 till noon that day. So we should look around and think of this and see what we can come up with for them to do.
Who's supervising? They are?
I think that they have.
And what day is it?
No, October.
October.
Yeah.
13th.
Friday?
Tuesday is.
It is. It's a Friday.
So, yeah, thanks, see what you can come up with, they would appreciate that. And then we just wanted to say that we just had a slight change in terms of the pavilions. The bathrooms at River Road and Blacknicker have always been on the time lock because they're on the right path and they're so accessible and noticeable. But Avon Crest and the community center have always been kept locked. And when people make reservations, they get a key for the restrooms. But because of pickleball at Avon Crest, we're now going to try putting that on a time lock system. So it'll be open from 9 to 4, I believe. It's gonna create a little havoc with the reservations because now it's going to lock up automatically at 4 p.m. So they're still gonna get a key for the bathrooms, but now they're going to have to either bring something to prop the door open or just unlock it for each of their guests that wants to go into the bathroom, because every time the door closes, it's gonna be locked. So we did some signs to put on there because we also don't want our people who have the keys to lock the deadbolt, because then the time lock system won't work and it won't be open for the pickleball people anymore. So we've got signs to post there saying, please do not lock or unlock deadbolts, to use the one on the door handle. And I did come up with a letter explaining everything that will go in the envelope with every key that I hand out for reservations at Avon Crest. And hopefully it will be a smooth transition for them.
Lorraine, do you have anything for us?
I'm primarily interested in the senior program. But if you give me just a moment, I would like to tell you that you did not invent the wheel. The senior program has been here since it was the old post office on Union Street. And guess what? We kept your days, Tuesday and Thursday, 2 hours a day. Although we did have the Meals on Wheels to start with, and that's going back, I think it was before, a little after 78. And the reason I tell you that is because I am disappointed in that beautiful girling center. It's not our fault. We never should have bought it. You have 12 magnificent acres, and the only reason the town bought that was because of the pool. We didn't have to buy a pool, but we could buy a $5 million, So, but the reason that I'm here is because as a senior, I drive during the day. I need a ride to come to the meetings. And at my age, I want to enjoy every day. And I love this town. I've been here 50 years. Your senior program, I understand, because I only get this through the grapevine, and it's not always correct. You have people that do not live in Niskayuna, and I resent that. I resent the fact that we don't know how many people attend. No one has given me any figures about who comes to the meetings 2 days a week for 2 hours a day. And I know how hard that the people that work there try to encourage people to come. Although I'm convinced that the programs and ordering a $5 sandwich has been an improvement, not over a hot cooked meal, but it has been, I think, successful. I am very upset about the parking situation. I'm upset about the fact that I'm worried I don't see Edie's name. Is she still
Oh,
working?
yeah, she's very.
Well, Edie,
Very-
when we built the town hall back in 90, we had the opening in 95. But she always had the paint group put pictures hanging in the
We
boardroom.
still, we
So
still
when
do.
you came to
We
town
still
board
do, yeah.
meetings, it
Yeah.
was a beautiful town board.
Mhm.
And as a matter of fact, she did a lot of work as far as encouraging elders to get into the habit of painting. But she's not listed. When I read about activities, and that's about my only connection. Now, as I said, I don't go to the meetings because your parking lot is up those very rickety stairs. And the last superintendent of highways, Frankie Gavin, was very particular because you only have the 10 parking spaces that are downstairs. And they're not, and for those that still drive, that don't take the bus, which I won't and don't, I don't like, the idea of having to do that. It's my independence, I guess. But seriously, I think there are some inner things that could make it a little bit. Now, I couldn't hear everything you were talking about as keys to the bathroom. Those bathrooms haven't been functioning in 50 years. They have always had plumbing problems, and I have always resented the fact that we constantly have problems with the bathroom. Can't we do something? I see ads, you can get, bathrooms fixed.
Are you talking about the ones at the community center pavilion?
I'm
Or
talking
the
about
building.
where you people work and have the seniors come to.
In the building?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
I don't think
Who
you've
else?
had
No, the keys
issues.
were for the pavilions.
Yeah, this
The
was
keys were for the
the
pavilion,
pavilions we're talking about.
What pavilion?
Like
Those
for
are
the
With
park,
the
first.
town parks.
associated with the park.
Oh, I beg your pardon. You're talking about the
Yes.
park?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Well, we had a councilwoman who loved bathrooms. So every place you stop, the train station, the this,
We
the
have
that,
bathrooms.
every park had bathrooms. I mean, I used to say, what, another bathroom? And then, of course, keep in mind, you've got to have somebody clean those.
Mhm.
But, you get people who want different things, and I'm sure I'm sorry, I thought we were talking about the main building. So excuse me,
And not
but
only new
seriously,
buildings, but
yeah.
hold up.
I'm very upset that Laura isn't here. I think she's doing as good a job as she can. I knew her father and he was Dickens, but her father, was a councilman. Did you know that?
Laura Robertson?
Yeah,
Oh,
show and roll. But
Oh,
that's
me.
you.
Yeah.
But the
He
thing
wasn't.
is,
Got that one.
so I will go to the senior center. I think that if we're talking about the senior center out there and that beautiful Aqueduct Hill, my suggestion to your chairman here, I think we ought to sell it to a developer, put the senior housing there, buy a place in town, keep the residents that want to go to the sea in Niskayuna. I read the interests of all the senior centers in Schenectady County. And I have to tell you, as hard as you work, and I never know what it costs. We never get a budget for the senior center, by the way. I'd like to know what the expenditures are and how do they get funded out there? I mean, it can't be from $14.
It's a fun.
That's the
It's
only
general
funding
funds.
you have besides our wonderful fund balance there that we keep taking money out of. But seriously, I think there are some things that maybe the patrons, the taxpayers would like to know how this office and department functions. When I heard that we were accepting people who didn't live here, I said, well, who else does that? Do they live in the county? Does the county reimburse us? No, of course not. But see, being a good fellow is not good business. And I'm a little bit concerned. I would like to go, frankly, you've got 2 trips coming up. You find trips. We always picked people up at town hall because people lived in Niskayuna. They didn't have to drive all the way out to the senior center to take the bus, find a parking place, get on a bus. This was the home. We came here, we had a room to come into until we could get on the bus. I don't know what changed that. I don't know who makes those decisions.
So Lorraine, maybe that's something we can look into though, is adding a stop, if it would help or if it needs to purpose. Yeah,
The day.
if we had extra people that wanted to go.
I mean, they're not, I would just have another senior citizen place. But the fact remains that maybe it's discouraging for some of us that don't want to walk down those stairs, that find there's not enough parking. Taking a trip, I've got to drive out there to come back here. No. Why can't we use the place we always used? Some ideas were not bad in the old days. Do you remember?
I remember.
But the point that I'm saying, I think finances is one thing. No, I don't pay my dues because I don't go there. But I do try to stay an involved senior. And my poor Bunny Moses, she was probably one of your oldest patrons, has passed recently. We lived on the same street. So, and it's happening. What do we do to have? Now, I was looking for things that might be coming up where you would encourage people to come out for coffee and dessert, invite them to come. And we've got enough volunteers from your patrons that they could be hostesses. I don't think there's a welcoming feeling anymore. I think too much is going on that has to do with taking money out of our savings. I'm sorry, we're going to get new water and sewer bills. I'm one person. My bill's going up. I have to say, I'm home most of the time, so things aren't going to change with me. But I feel that we're not paying attention to the overall, and the seniors have to lead. You have to help seniors. I've cut out some articles that talk about what other towns might be doing. We're a growing, aging population. So eat good. That helps. Fruits, vegetables. But I didn't come here to preach. I came here to tell you that what you do is honored, but you could think a little bit about who you're doing it for. And I came here because I think it's interesting that we have the youngest member taking care of the oldest people. So you want to have some ideas. And I can't make this a regular meeting, but believe me, I know who's there. I know what's going on, and I wish you a lot of luck. I know this is the controller that she's had a sizable interest in our finances, but I don't like what's happening here. I don't like all the changes. I don't like people already being changed for electric signs. I think we come in this building, you know, what's gonna happen up at the senior center?
Well, we're not getting anything electronic. It's all
You're-
people. Sorry.
You stick with us. We're talking about keys to the bathroom.
It's all us, so.
Our employees here do not have their own bathroom. We share. We are a public building. I've been down there and people will run in, go to the bathroom and run back. But all the people that work here, they don't have that. And I've asked for that. I think that's something we've got to think about. And your bathrooms down at the senior center, they're always having trouble, and you know it. So I think that there are things that, and old people, I find, do not express themselves. They're afraid. They don't want to be turned out. They want things to do, but they don't want to say, well, I'm not that one. I'm not that kind of person. But I would like to see some changes. I'd like to see a little bit more enthusiasm. I'd like to see less outsiders because they're taking up our resources. And why? Because we don't have enough people of our own to go there? There has to be a reason. And I'm not a great letter writer. I'd much rather speak to you. And I would hope that we could see some visible changes. I mean, people are living longer. You're all gonna live longer. You're gonna move to Florida. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Lorraine.
Thank you.
Nancy Tucker was our first director of recreation, if anybody remembers her.
Does anybody have anything else? Okay,
Oh, I kept you all. Oh, I'm sorry.
that's all right, Lorraine. I'm glad you came. All right, our next meeting is going to be on Thursday, September 7th at 4:30, right here in the Schaefer Room. And I will take a motion to adjourn. Is there a second? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Thank you.